The story begins by showing the leader of a Japanese Yakuza organization named Kurita Dasuk. He is very feared and ruthless. Killing is a common thing for him, even if the victim is a woman. That day, Kurita suddenly got a mysterious call from someone. When he tried to call his troops, he realized that all his troops had been killed. Kurita immediately prepared by taking his weapon. But unfortunately, someone appeared from behind and strangled him to death. He was a hitman named Kim. After that, Kim got paid for his work. Shimada gave Kim so much money that he didn't know where to put it. Kim accidentally saw a painting of a beach in Panama in a shop. Kim then plans to go there to live a comfortable life. Meanwhile, in Thailand, a woman named Young-ju is shown taking her daughter Yumin to school.
사랑해 우리 딸. 이따 봐.
After school, Yumin was picked up by an unknown person and forced to follow on the pretext of meeting her mother.
어디 가요? 엄마한테 가야 돼.
Meanwhile, Kim is still looking for information about Panama. Shortly after that, he received a call from his former boss. He told Kim about Young-ju wanted to talk to him, but Kim refused and said that Kim was dead.
다 지난 일이에요. 다시 연락 오거든 그냥 죽었다고 하세요.
It is known that Young-ju and Kim used to be in a relationship when Kim was still in Korea. But the relationship ended when Kim decided to leave Korea. It turns out that Young-ju contacted Kim for help because her daughter was kidnapped by kidnappers. Young-ju had made a report to the police, but the police never solved the kidnapping case that often occurred there. In panic and sadness, Young-ju got a call about her daughter's whereabouts. She left immediately without realizing that it was a trap.
일단 최대한 빨리 이쪽으로 오세요. 딴 사람 대기하지 말고. 사장님, 찾았어.
경찰은 어떻게 해요?
아니요. 걔네들 데려오면 안 될 것 같아요.
서용주 사망.
Eventually, the news of Young-ju's death reached Kim. It certainly made Kim very surprised. Then, we'll be shown what happened 8 years ago. At that time, the NIS trained its members to become killing machines, but in the end, the department was disbanded. Kim was ordered to leave Korea immediately to hide his identity. Before leaving, Kim met Young-ju, his girlfriend, to say goodbye. At that time, another department was assigned to kill Kim, so he had to leave immediately. Back in the present, Kim could only see Young-ju, who was already dead. In the end, Kim returned to see his former boss to ask about the identity of the little girl who lived with Young-ju. After Kim left 8 years ago, Young-ju confessed to Kim's boss that she was pregnant. Kim's boss gave Young-ju 2 choices: save the child or meet Kim. We can already guess if Young-ju prefers to save her child. Now, Kim just found out that she has a daughter. After that, Shimada told Kim about Ray, who was Kurita's brother. Ray and Kurita grew up together on the streets. Ray has a psychopathic soul with a hobby of splitting his victims' bodies upside down. Ray is currently hunting for his brother's killer. Shimada then told Kim to leave Japan immediately. Shimada was also on his way to the airport, but suddenly, another vehicle appeared and hit him. In the end, Shimada is caught by Ray and is hanged to be cut open. Meanwhile, Kim decided to go to Bangkok to find his daughter. But Kim's destination was known by Ray, so Ray would also go to Bangkok to kill Kim. Upon arriving in Bangkok, Kim meets an informant named Young Bae, who will help him during his stay. According to Young Bae, Yumin's kidnapping was a planned crime, because the target is a person with a lot of money in her account. After investigating, They found that Jong-soo was one of the fraudsters who participated in the kidnapping. It is known that Jong-soo left Korea because of a real estate fraud case and only deceived Koreans there. As a hitman, Kim easily went to Jong-soo. To get information, Kim did not hesitate to cut Jong-soo's thumb. Jong-soo's only job was to deceive the victim by promising her daughter would be returned after all the money in the victim's account had been withdrawn. Meanwhile, the kidnapped children already had their own buyers and were most likely dead.
자르려고? 아이 지금 어디 있어? 죽었어! 부동산을 비키러 애기를 납치해 그걸로 불러내서.
After hearing all the information, Kim finally killed Jong-soo.
내가
On the other hand, Ray has arrived in Bangkok. By utilizing a local gang, Ray can find information about the kidnappers and is promised a face-to-face meeting with the kidnappers. But Ray was framed. They assumed Ray was just a tourist. As a gangster leader, Ray easily slaughtered everyone in the room.
หอบเงินเป็นฟ่อนเลย มึงนี่มันโง่จริงๆว่ะไม่เฮ้ยไอ้สัตว์เฮ้ย
Ray also left one person who promised to help Ray find the kidnapper. Meanwhile, Kim has moved quickly by arresting the kidnapper and her husband. To get information, Kim cut off the man's finger. The kidnappers then told Kim that the kidnapped children were still alive, but they have sold them to a local gangster named Chow Fo. All the children are now housed in one room. Yu-min was moved to another room as her condition worsened. On the other hand, Young Bae tells Kim about Chow Fo, the largest distributor of narcotics in Bangkok. Chow Fo made a business out of selling internal organs on the side. That night, Young Bae introduces Kim to Yui, a transgender woman who will help Kim in his search for Yu-min. Yui is willing to help to get paid expensively for her beauty surgery. Young Bae gave Kim a business card to use to order the stolen child.
아이 찾는 거 도와주면 너 수술할 수 있어.
3만? 달러로? 뭐야 너무 이쁘다. 하나도 안 닮아도 오빠예요.
While waiting for the courier, Yui and Kim waited in a cafe. Yui wants to help not because of money, but Yui also has children living in Korea. Yui is a Korean living in Thailand who decided to have her sex removed to become a transvestite. Yui never dared to meet her son. Soon, the courier contacted them and told them to get into a car across the street. Upon arrival at the destination, Kim was invited to choose a child for his internal organs. Long story short, Kim asked for a Korean child. Unfortunately, the Korean child had already been booked, and Kim was promised that another Korean child would be found in a few days. Kim realized it was his daughter, so he insisted on asking for the Korean child and would pay double. Kim and Yui were finally asked to wait for a while. But Kim couldn't keep waiting, so he tried to ask the children about his daughter. With Yui's help using Thai, one of the boys claimed to have seen her. Yu-min is currently being taken for surgery, and the boy also had one of his kidneys removed. When asked about the surgery place, the boy asked to play soccer instead.
อยู่รู้ไหมว่าเธอถูกพาไปผ่าตัดที่ไหน
มาเล่นฟุตบอลกันเถอะ ผมอยากเล่นฟุตบอล
ฟุตบอล
Soon, the guards returned. In the end, Kim had to kill them. Kim also forced the female guard to tell him where Yu-min was. The guard claimed that Yu-min had been taken away and would undergo heart transplant surgery. Unfortunately, the female guard didn't know where the surgery was being performed. Meanwhile, the boy earlier informed that the location was Ranyao. Unfortunately, Ray had already arrived there. Kim immediately told Yui to come out and take the boy. Finally, Kim and Ray's fight was inevitable. Kim used one of the rooms to lock himself up to get away from Ray's brutality. Meanwhile, Yui was arrested by the police for being suspicious. In the end, the kidnapping site was dismantled by the police and all the children were released. This chaos made Chaofo very angry, and he ordered killing everyone who dared to interfere with his business. In another place, Young Bae explained the location of the so-called Ranyao to Kim. Not waiting long, Kim hurried to leave. Kim also warned Ray not to follow him, but Ray intends to kill everyone associated with Kim. Meanwhile, Yui has to be interrogated at the police station. He admitted that he was only hired to be a guide and informed that Kim's next destination was Ranyao. After getting the information, the police went to the place with a SWAT team. Elsewhere, Ray was visiting a gun shop. Ray paralyzed the shopkeeper and took all the weapons needed.
Where you come from?
Where did you take the Korean kid?
He also asked for the location of the kidnapped Korean girl. Meanwhile, Kim has arrived in the Ranyao area. Kim is looking for information by asking a small boy where the ball is produced. On that side of the factory, Yu Min was kept in a room, while Kim tries to keep an eye on the area around the factory. Kim's movements have also been monitored by the police. At that time, Kim had seen Yu Min standing next to the window. Unfortunately, Yu Min was taken away again because she was going to be operated on soon. Kim immediately followed the car, but suddenly, Ray appeared to get in his way. Kim tried to turn around to avoid Ray's shot, but things got more difficult when the police also attacked Kim. Finally, Kim crashed into a pile of cars. In the end, Ray had to fight all the SWAT troops alone. While Kim hurried to go rescue Yu Min, who was about to be operated on. In the end, Kim managed to take Yu Min out of the danger zone. Young Bae again gave directions for Kim to go to the Laurencia Hotel. Kim's room has been prepared there. After that, the smuggler will contact Kim and take him out of Bangkok. Elsewhere, Chaopa has apparently paid the police to hunt down Kim for invading his territory. Unfortunately, the police could not catch him, instead destroying Chaopa's factory. Shortly after that, Ray arrived there with a bomb. Ray's goal is to meet Chaofo and work together to catch Kim. Unfortunately, Chaofo intends to kill Kim, and Ray can carry his body. Yu Min regained consciousness this time. By claiming to be a friend of Yu Min's mother, Kim promised to bring Yu Min home. Kim also contacted Yui to come to the Laurencia Hotel tomorrow at 1500 hours. The next day, Kim went to the hotel with Yu Min. Kim continued to contact Yui, who was absent because the police and Chaofo kept looking for her. Kim also brought in a doctor to examine Yu Min's condition. The very heavy circumstances made Yu Min psychologically disturbed. Kim tried to entertain Yu Min with magic that Yu Min's mother liked. Kim promised to protect Yu Min no matter what. In the end, Kim asked the doctor to look after Yu Min for a while, and Kim would go to meet the smuggler who would help him leave Thailand. A ship will sail from the harbor tomorrow. Kim must arrive at 5 p.m. When he returned to the hotel, many Chaofo troops were waiting for him. Kim must fight them all by himself. Unfortunately, Ray Den Chaofo's troops were waiting in the hotel room. In the end, Kim had to be caught. But suddenly, Ray killed several Chaofo troops. Ray told them to bring Kim to Chaofo and would pay Chaofo to split Kim's body. In a parking lot, Yui accidentally saw Kim being taken by car. Yui tried to stop the car by crashing it. Yui immediately freed Kim. Meanwhile, Yu-min had been taken by Ray. Kim tried to chase him through a small alley in the market. With his gun, Kim tried to stop Ray. The fight between Kim and Ray happened again in the car. Finally, the car had a crash. At that time, Kim realized that Yu-min was in the suitcase. Unfortunately, Ray managed to stab Kim. In the end, Kim took a grenade and put it next to the car so that the car rolled over. At that time, with a body full of wounds, Kim tried to get Yu-min out of the suitcase. Soon, Yui arrived there to bring Yu-min. Unfortunately, Ray got back up and stabbed Kim. Seeing Yui had taken her daughter away, Kim finally decided to end it all with a suicide bombing. Previously, Kim had asked Yui to take Yu-min away and take care of her if something bad happened. The money promised to Yui and all the documents had also been prepared. Of course, a place to stay had also been prepared in Panama. Yui and Yu-min finally made it to Panama. The house was located by the beach, so Yui and Yu-min could start a new life. And the movie is over.